Aronde Gadsden is with us, a man who played for the Dolphins and played in Frankfurt, Germany for a season as well. We talked about last week on the radio station. What do you take, OG, out of this Dolphins game? Because Crowder and I have talked about it, Solana. Like, can you spin it into a positive? Hey, they're down 21-0. They're resilient. They fought back. They put themselves in a position to win the game, or tie the game, I should say, late. They'll probably go for two because that's how Mike McDaniel is built. Maybe they walk out of there with the dub. Can you come away from yesterday's Dolphins game feeling good?
Defense played great.
They did.
Yeah. I mean, half. Yeah. Well, the second half. Okay. Yeah. The first drive, they did not.
First drive was way too easy. That was way too easy.
They did not. But I think on the whole, the defense played well. And, hey, if you take away the fumble, they scored 14, we scored 14. Other than that, it's still a loss. I mean, for me, the point still remains, and I've said this since the Buffalo game, which always comes down to me, us winning the Buffalo. We do not have a plan B, bro. We just don't. Like, we go with plan A, and we go with plan A. Like,
sounds like the Hurricanes recap as well. Tyler Van Dyke,
Miami Dolphins, it's Miami football.
Yeah, it's not working. All right. I mean, you can see the Chiefs was like, all right, you want to take Kelsey out? Cool. Stay over there and keep Kelsey out. We're gonna play with these other people over here and work that game plan. We have to find a way. And the times we did run the ball, we scored. We scored with the run. And now you can run the ball. We made it downfield, and then you can go with 4 straight passes. Come on, bro. They got it. They got the pass. They got us. They know they're not following the window dressing. We're not getting the ball. And you can see they just took the Patriots game plan and made it better. It's the same thing. He had 48 yards receiving against the Patriots. I don't know how much he had against Buffalo. I mean, we still won the game because we ran the ball. Like, sometimes we're just going to have to line up in 2 tights and run the ball 3-4 times. And if we punt, cool, we punt. But let the people know that we can do something else. We just rely too much on, and as I was telling Josh and them at the table, I am not thinking about beating the Raiders and the Commanders. I am thinking about if we got to go to Baltimore January 27th and it's 29 degrees, the window dressing motion ain't going to work. It's just not. They gonna run the ball. We got to go to Cincinnati. We need to be able to run the ball and have another game plan side. Tyreek Hill going in motion, throwing the ball and hoping the bubbles get us through. I see it all the time. The same thing. I think, all the good teams. I watched the Cowboys last night. Same thing. Like, this is what you got. This is, you're gonna just keep on throwing it to, CeeDee Lamb. He just gonna have 190 yards, and the next receiver gonna have 30. It's just not gonna work in big time games.
And OG, is it crazy for me because this is my take because it was a tale of two halves, obviously 21-0, 14-0.
Right.
When the Dolphins run the ball, they score. The Dolphins, it's funny because everybody loves the score.
Right.
I'll look at Hawk over here because he loves the
fireworks.
Fun. He loves the fireworks. Where that's what it is. And Tyreek Hill is on path to break the single season receiving record. Tua leads the league in passing yards and all that. This Dolphin 2023 team is a running team. And when they run the ball, that's when they win. That's when they get points. That's when they score.
That's when they get the meaningful points. That's when they get the points that we need. Like, if we just continue to run the ball, and I listen, it may be because A-Chain's not there. I don't know. But the times that we consistently have running plays, I mean, we still got to pass the ball. I'm a receiver. I want to see the fireworks to pass too. But like I said, I'm not thinking about the Raiders and the Commanders. I'm thinking about playoff football. We're going to need – I mean, we even got a fullback. We kept a fullback. A fullback. What roster got a fullback? Right? Us in San Francisco, probably.
Yeah. That's about 4 fullbacks employed.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Use the fullback, run the ball to show something else. Maybe we bring – they stay in that cover 2 shell the whole time. 48 minutes. They stayed in there the whole time, right? And we never got them out because we didn't consistently run the ball. Times we ran the ball, touchdown. We ran down the field at the end until we threw the ball 4 straight times, gassing them with the run. I mean, we're going to have to show some team that we can consistently run the ball. We have the players to do it. I mean,
when we speak of the players, though, to do it, though, how about Savon Ahmed gets a little bit of a breather, and they go with Jeff Wilson and Raheem Mostert and Alec Ingold, if you want to mention the fullback. Right. Ahmed, I don't know if you guys saw how many plays he was active for.
Right.
I don't need to see him out there when you've got, in my opinion, 2 backs that are way better than him.
Right. No, I mean, you said this before. Like the time we ran that wheel and threw it to him, like,
oh,
right.
Drives me crazy. Out of all the offensive weapons, they keep force feeding Ahmed.
Yeah. I mean, I guess they just feel bad that, he should be playing. He doesn't get that much playing time. But if you got 2 dudes better, can't get on the field. I mean, we use it, and I think, like, I don't know. And Mike McDaniel's mind is, I'm just going to do this to see if I can throw him off, but I'm going to go right back to plan A. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we get it, but, all right. I mean, just have Chase Claypool out there, the big receiver out there. Maybe have Tyreek Hill just run motion, but everybody else got to block, and we have to run the ball consistently, and we just don't do it. And I think we put Tua in a bad position as well when we try now to make him throw into, windows and spaces that's not what we practice. Like when we go through the walkthrough and practice, like he's making those throws because he's seen it before. Like on one of those plays, I mean, he looking for time, and Waddle comes on a drag. Holy mackerel. If he give the ball Waddle, he tiptoe in the end zone, but he doesn't see him because that's just not the way it worked.
And that throw, Hawk, we laughed about it earlier, but that throw to CJ Wilson.
Cedric Wilson.
Sorry, down the sideline.
Oh,
what happened there, OG? Like, because Hawk even said,
what was that?
Did it slip out of his hand?
I almost feel like he hitched.
Hawk is like he hits, and who's like, hey, this is a big time play. I shouldn't throw this way.
Well, sometimes on plays, we talked about this because it's one of the famous plays I was involved in. When you go out there and you have a certain read, Jimmy told us what they blitz, run the hitch because that's the hot break. Dan said, don't worry about the hitch, run the go. But I'm like, that's not the read we've been doing. He's like, look, man, I know the corner's going to blitz. I'm going to take care of the safety, right? Because I'm going to get the ball to you down the sideline before the safety gets over there because the corner blitz safety got to come over. Well, right? And I'm running the rail. Run the rail. Make sure you run the rail. I'm as close to out of bounds as humanly possible. And he got the ball there before safety. So I think it was a hot break, and I think Tua was thinking of the back shoulder fade when Cedric Wilson was thinking of just a straight go route. Because I think Tua just wanted to get the catch so we can move the chains and get some more. And it just didn't happen. And that's when people not on the same page because, they hadn't, worked together in those situations. And so, that happens from time to time. And, you have to – because you can see Tua wanted to throw it, and then I can't get it back.
That's what Hawk was saying.
Like, no string, no string on
just
the football.
At the last second.
Like
this is not going to work.
Yeah. At least he got it wasn't a pick. So, that was cool.
OG, is it possible, though? Because here's what it looked like to me. It looked like the play was for Cedric Wilson to not run towards the end zone, but to run probably in the vicinity Tua ended up throwing the back shoulder. But Cedric Wilson realized, I'm one-on-one. There's no safety help over the top. I can beat the corner. I'm going to run the post and get into the end zone, and my guy Tua is going to figure that out and get it to me. But Tua, because he felt the pressure, because of the pressure of the situation as well, figured, I know where Ced's going to be. And he threw it where probably he was supposed to be.
Right.
But Cedric Wilson kind of just did his own thing, trying to make a play.
Well, you could do that when you got time. When you don't have any time, you can't do it. And that's what I'm saying. And that's what's made the combinations of whoever you want to, Irvin and Aikman, or Rice and Young, or whoever, combinations you want to say are the best, they had time to let the receiver make that decision. Tua did not have that time, which meant he had to throw the ball where, they had practiced. If he had time, I think Cedric Wilson did what was correct, run the open grass. If you could throw the post with no safety, the post definitely should work. It's just that he just didn't have the time to throw either of it. He thought the back shoulder fade would win.
And OJ, it's funny, we were talking and you were talking about the plan A, plan B. Plan A did not work in the first half, but I'll tell you, they had a plan B in the second half because how they 14-0 in the second half. Did they convert too late?
Yeah.
To that that secondary approach, because the second half they dominated defensively and offensively.
Yeah. I think that's what the coach has to do. Has to make the decision when to go to the plan B, and I think we've done it. I'm trying to think back of the losses because that's all that matters.
That's all. Buffalo Eagles. It's the top team. Buffalo Eagles and
right. Chiefs. But I'm trying to think of the game. When did Tyreek catch the bomb against the Eagles? Second half.
Mm-hmm.
And in the first game, the point is the coach has to make that decision.
Yeah.
And because he's the offensive coordinator as well, he has to know when to say, all right, like it's time to go. Like this all right, we tried it, not working. Before we get behind too much or before we lose the game, like we got to go with something else. Just like, Hawk was, beating my head in about crystal ball with the quarterback situation at UM. Like, sometimes you got to roll the dice and say, hey, look, Van Dyke not, he's not cutting the mustard right now. Let's try to put this other guy in. But then you always have to understand that the people behind the start are not as good. Mm-hmm. So I think he should have made it a lot earlier. But, you want to trust your players and you want to trust the concept that, hey, we practiced this. I didn't do this. Let me try this one to see if it didn't work. But then when you go back and look at it, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you really analyze the game, take away the fumble that, hey, it happens. It's football. Tyreek Hill.
It wasn't a beatdown. Felt like it at the beginning.
Felt like it at the beginning. But that's what I'm saying. You take away that play, the fumble, from Tyreek Hill, right? We tied. We going into overtime. Realistically, with us having the momentum, but just didn't happen that way.
You played for a long time. You played for a long time as well. How do you feel as a Dolphins player flying home from Frankfurt after that game? You've been there since Monday, and then you do whatever you did yesterday, whether you want to say it was net positive because of the resilience or net negative because you come out of there with an L. How do you feel as a player flying home after that game?
Drunk.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
You're right.
I didn't know if it was my turn.
You do feel drunk. You feel like, hey, look, that's the only way I can get rid of this loss, and we got time.
It's a long flight.
A long flight. I want to sleep as much as possible. The 2 movies don't work, so I need to go ahead. Bring me 3 more mini bottles.
I mean, do you feel all right coming home from that if you're a player? No.
You're trying to get as quickly as you can to the next game. It's a long way to take that loss, knowing in your mind you probably shouldn't have lost, or you should have had, a better showing. You understand? The longest time is for Tyreek Hill because, it was his former team. He said he was going to score a touchdown. Yeah. He
had one of his poorer games as a Dolphin.
Yeah. And so it's a long ride for him. I don't know, if he indulged in adult beverages or not, but he did something. Like you have to shake that feeling, and I can remember losing. I mean, coming from L.A. or coming from Oakland, that 6 hours is a long ride just to hold on to that. So you got to get rid of it as soon as possible. And that's a good thing about football is, on to the next one. That's why we always say 24-hour rule. But if you fly in 17 of them 24 hours, it's brutal.
Rondé Gadsden, I'm watching. You're here with us at Twin Peaks, but I can also see the video feed. And under your name, OG, the graphic says lighter fluid. Now, I just before we run out of time, Crowder went a little bit viral this weekend. He went viral with the pivot. He went viral with his barbecuing skills.
Mm-hmm. True.
You can follow Crowder on Instagram at Channing Crowder, I believe, right? It's not official Crowder. Is it Channing Crowder?
Let me look.
I think it's Channing Crowder.
You're on IG or X?
I'm on. I don't know what I'm.
He's
on.
more active on IG than X.
Channing Crowder on IG and
at myspace.com.
Official
Yeah,
Crowder
and I got,
on Twitter. You're official Crowder.
Official
on Twitter.
Crowder on Twitter.
official
Yeah.
Crowder on
What, they
Twitter.
got more Crowders?
But on
You know what? Somebody bought.
Channing
Somebody
Crowder?
had Channing Crowder.
Oh, they will make some money.
And I
They want
tried
you to buy it.
And they wanted to buy it. I said, I'm not buying nothing.
so on Crowder's Instagram page,
Correct.
he is barbecuing. He's
Right.
giving a barbecuing lesson.
That's
Teaching
what-
everybody.
And
That's what you call it.
we've had some back and forth about barbecuing with you and Crowder.
Right.
And you've seen the video. Now, Crowder, no pun
So
here.
Smoky.
No pun. Crowder was getting roasted on IG over the amount of lighter fluid
they don't know how to get their coals hot.
that he squirted into that barbecue grill. Oronde,
Young boys don't know how to get their coals hot.
Oronde, your take was
Why'd you use so much, though?
I like to get the coals hot.
Right now?
I want them now.
Yeah, see, that's the problem. You can use a third of that and just go back in the house and chill, and they'll get hot over time.
I like to get them hot now.
No,
Because
man,
how
you don't want your food to
No,
taste like
no.
live fluid.
Gonna
though.
burn off. I always let it burn. You can smell it.
someone
like
wrote
water-
on
oh.
Instagram. Someone wrote on Instagram that chicken is gonna taste like unleaded 93.
Right.
It's gonna burn out.
So you rather let the burn go after
I would like to
instead of before.
I want it to get hot and burn out, then wait around 45 minutes for my coals to get white.
Nah. You gotta start with your coals getting white first.
But then I can get them white faster.
But it's not the process, man. You gotta follow the process.
How
man.
much at one grilling session,
Right.
Oronde, should someone?
And you see, he had the
4 gallons.
He had the industrial Sam's bottle of lighter fluid. Everybody got the little lighter fluid that looked like a water bottle.
Right?
Now, he had like a half a gallon water fluid.
Oh, gallon.
How much of that bottle should be squirted into the barbecue grill?
I mean, like 7 tablespoons, just a little bit.
Like an eighth of that can,
come
maybe.
on,
Really?
And
Yeah.
I would say you squirted a good 3/4.
Yeah.
I scored about a third of the bottle.
No, you didn't. Nah,
Third
man.
of the
You
bottle.
sat there for a good 7 minutes talking and still was squirting. Like the camera panned off and just showed like the lake with the ducks, and it came back and you still was squirting. Like,
I
bro,
want to let them know you gotta get your coals moist.
no, bro, we got that. But if you just light it on fire, close the lid, and go back in the house for a second and watch the rest of the first quarter and come back,
Then
you'll
the-
be straight.
then the coals will be white.
Yeah. You want the coals to be white after the after the national anthem. Home of the coals white already. Let's go. We can start cooking. Them coals white. Nah, man, we can go.
Gotta get them coals white.
Because you don't even need a marinade or barbecue sauce because the flavor of the gasoline
It's
is
gonna
going to
be-
be overpowering.
Right. Lighter fluid.
It's one thing, you know what, and I don't do. When you do put a lot of charcoal, like a lot of fluid, you light them immediately so it doesn't seep in, so you don't get that flavor.
I think you had way more lighter fluid than you had coals. Because when you open the bag, you just dump like 3 seconds of coal. Like, hey, you gotta get your coals right. You put the bag down.
He skimped on the coals,
Skips on the coal.
but he went all in on the lighter
You
fluid.
went all in on a lighter
I
fluid,
want to
man.
get my coals white quick.
You want some chicken with that lighter fluid?
I thought he was doing a paid advertisement for the lighter fluid.
Yeah. That's what he
Genuinely.
needs to. What
Listen.
kind of lighter fluid you use?
I thought you were grilling a drink because it was all liquid. I was like, oh, there's nothing here that's going to go in a bun.
Right.
This guy's making a drink.
Man.
You know
that's a hazard.
I haven't had.
I burn them out. You got to burn. I smell my smoke, and I know when the smoke goes from lighter fluid, and I say, okay, that's cold.
That was like the one.
You might not know that.
No, but because I do it in reverse. I use less lighter fluid and I let it burn.
That was like the 1 million octane thing at Fat Tuesday. You
you
drink that and you'd go, oh my God, this is all just
grain alcohol.
I'm like, this guy's barbecuing grain alcohol. Genius.
What happens is when you get one of those drinks from Wet Willie's or Fat Tuesday and you put it down, and you come back and it's turned to liquid, no more icy. You're like, oh boy,
it's eating through the glass.
All grain alcohol.
That's when I say, ready, put the meat on.
Yeah.
Ready, put the meat on.
So he's cooking with no time.
So
he's under time restraints.
So
you should do like on ESPN because of time restraints. We move forward.
So I need the SpongeBob 25 hours later.
Well, but I don't think you need 24 hours to get the coals white. It's like the cooking shows. They go, and we prepared that a little bit earlier. Here's how I started. You don't have to just fire it all. And there's no time constraint on Instagram. That can go as long as you want.
He's really trying to cook the brisket in the 30 minutes time
Put that
slot.
fire on the ass, Hawk.
All right. Aronde Gadsden. We're at Twin Peaks in Davie. You can check out the Crowder video on his Instagram. It's Channing Crowder on Instagram. Thank you, OG.
And before the show is over, we'll have brisket over here.
Brisket in 18 minutes. Y'all want me to trade the grill up?
I'm going to go down here to Home Depot right across the street and bring you a grill.
32 minutes.
Yeah, before y'all get off the show, anybody free brisket at Twin Peaks.
They say to Crowder, they say, Daddy, what time are you going to start cooking for Thanksgiving? What time you guys want to eat? 4? About 3:45. Huh? You're going to, how you?
It'll be damn hot. My taco be hot.
We'll eat the Dallas Cowboys game. When you gonna start cooking 4 quarter Lions game?
4 o'clock game?
Yeah.
Start at 2:45.
I thought it went a little overboard when you threw the actual lighter fluid can in there as well. It'll burn off.
It'll burn off.
It'll burn off.
Light it up.
All right, there you go. Aronde Gadsden having fun on a Monday. We're at Twin Peaks. Quick break. We'll come back with more Hockman and Crowder.